Yeah, so Arch Manning's a bum.
Arch Manning is
He's
UDFA.
not getting drafted. He's cheeks. He's changing his last name. Get the hell out of here. I want him to go on Maury, and I want a DNA test for this kid because he's certainly not a Manning. No, I'm kidding. I'm obviously
We were scammed this whole time.
bamboozled.
Bamboozled, lied to. I can't.
It was AI. It was AI tape from last year. Opening bell of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. Trevor Sikkema, Connor Rogers here with you guys for week 1 of the 2025 NFL season, which means it's time for the big one, the way too early 2026 mock draft. Connor, I have truly barely even thought about doing mock drafts. We have been in the weeds with rankings and building the big board and everything. I haven't even thought about potential player team fits, what teams we even are projecting or picking towards the top 10 or the back half of the draft, all of that. And we get to do that for the first time here on the show. Buddy, I'm so excited about this one. I know the fans out there love the mock draft format. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. Me too. I share that excitement with you because we've been laying the foundation for months, right? And it's fun. We love summer scouting. We love being in the weeds with the different position rankings, and we're watching a lot of those players as prospects for the first time. But it's a lot more fun once you've laid that foundation and you get to actually talk about what their fits and projections could look like at the NFL level. And if you're a team that thinks you might be turning the page of the draft a little early in the season, it's always good as a fan. I know it's a harsh feeling. Trust me, I've been there with you many, many years, but it is also gives you a little bit of hope when you dive into the top of a draft class. So I'm really, really pumped, man. And nobody could yell at us for this draft order either. We didn't set it.
That's true. We did not set it. And we'll be using the PFF.com mock draft simulator, which you guys can go over and use as well. If you have a PFF Plus subscription, you can basically have the entire mock draft simulator there. And I'm not gonna lie, in years past, sometimes that hasn't really meant a lot. This year, it means a lot because as we stated in previous episodes, I have from the guys that I have scouted and ranked, which are 255 players. And then I also took all of the names from the players that were in the Senior Bowl, and well, not all of the ones from the Shrine Bowl watch list, because those guys are true sickos in the best way, and they have a top 1,000. But
I was going to say, you'd be... I don't know how you would even be able to quantify and narrow that down.
We love everybody over at the Shrine Bowl. You guys are obviously very on top of it. Eric Galco and his staff does a great job making sure that event is ready to roll at the end of January, and we love them for it. But all that to say, there are 449 players in the mock draft simulator right now. So if you wanted to run 3-round, 4-round, 5-round, 6-round, 7-round mock drafts for your team, you could do it right now or anytime throughout the regular season, whenever you want to. As we say on the show, dip your toe into the water. So that is all available over at the mock draft simulator. You mentioned we haven't even really looked at the draft order yet over at pff.com. We'll pull that up in a second. But yeah, this is gonna make a lot of fun because look, the way too early mock drafts that we post right after the draft is over, I get it. It's a content thing. You want to learn the names. But in reality, like, we haven't studied those guys. We were just watching the draft class that was right there that we just did the draft on. And so it's hard to be able to watch all those guys right as we're putting out the way too early mock draft. And so this is always, to me, the appropriate time. I know everybody wants everything like instantly and a little bit sooner, but like this is the perfect time, in my opinion, the Monday of week 1 of the NFL season, to do our first way too early mock draft with summer scouting in the rearview mirror. And I'm just excited to have these conversations with you as we go, through all of these teams. And sometimes you're going to pick a guy that you're super high on. I'm going to pick a guy that I'm super high on. And it's just going to be a lot of fun getting to go through this exercise with you for the first time.
It really is. And, we're doing this after week 1 of college football. So
so Arch Manning's a bum.
Arch Manning is
He's
UDFA.
not getting drafted. He's cheeks. He's changing his last name. Get the hell out of here. I want him to go on Maury, and I want a DNA test for this kid because he's certainly not a Manning. No, I'm kidding. I'm obviously
We were scammed this whole time.
Bamboozled,
lied to. I can't
believe
it.
It was AI tape from last year.
It was absolute theater. And don't get me wrong, we're gonna have this. We're having the combo already. Like it was Arch the lights were bright, and he had the jitters. He missed a lot of throws. He had a bad game against. By the way, can people give the NFL Ohio State defense a little love here? It was just all like. It just felt like the timeline was like, well, everybody said Arch was going to be great. You all lied. And it's like, okay, yeah, you had a bad game. But also, man, I was so excited watching that Ohio State defense, specifically the linebacker play in the middle of that defense. And, of course, Caleb Downs, who you guys have heard about because he was a top player on our one of the top players on our big board episode. So, yeah. You know, this is the highs and lows of a college football season, and I think there is no more wider spectrum in terms of ranging of opinions than after week one, where a guy that you maybe liked all summer had a good game, and you're like, well, now he's a top 10 pick, like I said, or a guy that you liked had one bad game, and it's like, well, this dude, he can't play, it's over. So we'll be a little mindful of that on this mock draft because plenty of top guys had slow starts of the season. That's how football goes. It's about to happen in the NFL this weekend as well. So, but yeah, this is a good time to kind of narrow or at least try to funnel in. Okay, these are guys that have the top traits to go early in the draft. And yes, what they do the rest of the season is going to really dictate a lot of that. But some of these guys, Trevor, we already got to see that special level of play on display in just one or two games.
No, 100%. And you're right. And not only are we giving credit to Ohio State's, NFL level type of a defense, but their NFL defensive coordinator as well, Matt Patricia, who, man, if you like Caleb Downs, which if you don't,
it's good business to be in if you like him.
You should watch more tape on him, is what I will say. We got a sneak peek of how Matt Patricia is going to build what he does at the second level and on the back end with Caleb Downs. And he is I would be floored if Caleb Downs is certainly anywhere lower than number 5 on my final big board. I'll even say like below the top 3. This guy is not only supremely talented.
Last week?
I had him at 1.
Yeah, I had him at 2. I had him at 2, only behind Peter Woods, and I was like, and I said it, I'm like, you could argue he's the best player in the draft right now, and no one would get mad at you like you did.
And that is the little bit that we saw him and how Matt Patricia is going to emphasize him in that defense. Again, I just cannot imagine a world where he's going to be outside of my top 3 because he is that talented, and very clearly Matt Patricia is leaning on him to be the X factor in that defense. So there we go. All right, that's a little bit of an appetizer, getting us into getting us ready, getting us in the mood for this mock draft simulator. So let's pull it up. Let's get it going here. I'll share the screen. PFF mock draft simulator. You guys can go see this over at pff.com. It's been too long. It's been too long. In all its glory.
The Batman suit. Knocking the dust off the mock draft simulator.
Christian Bale just staring at the Batman suit. Yeah, that's us with the PFF mock draft simulator. It really is.
It's time to get back to the old me.
Yeah. Lord, forgive me. I'm going back to the old me. So let's say, all right, the order, like right off the bat, we didn't pick this order, okay? I actually don't.
Handcrafted.
It's actually a crystal ball. The Giants are going to suck this year. No, I'm kidding. I actually think they're going to be a little bit better than what some people are predicting them to be. I actually don't know who set this original order. This might have been the Super Bowl odds.
Win total combined with...
Yeah, but I think it's from like May or June.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, because the Browns definitely have the lowest win total in the NFL right now with the Saints. I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fine. We bow down to the MDS. Giants fans...
No. You know what? I'm playing God. I'm doing it. I'm clicking on the edit. I'm clicking on the edit draft order button.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. This is my first time doing a mock draft.
How long you been working on this show?
I did not know. Have you
ever been to PFF.com? Be honest.
I swear. It's the only way I can watch film. Oh, all right, man, that's a bad look for me.
So you said that the Browns have the lowest win total, like over-under, in the league?
I believe them and the Saints are at 4.5 the last time I looked at these.
So I'm just going to edit it, and I'm going to put the Browns and then the Saints at 1 and 2. I think the Giants are going to be a little better. I'm going to put them behind the Jets. I'm sorry.
No, listen.
That's the only change.
Not a crazy business. Now the Jets win total is 6.5. The Giants I think is 5.5. But listen,
is it okay? All right. Okay.
No, don't change it.
What?
No, stand your ground. Stand your ground. You made your decision.
The numbers are what they are. All right. I can't change that.
You say the Jets. You can here. There's apparently an edit draft order button that's just been hiding in the top right the whole time.
All right. The Giants are behind the Jets. There you go. Fine.
Boom.
You all wanted this.
You made your bed.
You want to know how I got these scars?
From using this is the simulator thousands of times.
This is the draft order that we're going with. I'm sorry to the Jags and the Falcons fans out there. The Jags obviously made the big trade with the Cleveland Browns last year to go move up and go get Travis Hunter. That included the first-round pick this year. The Falcons also don't have a first-round pick because they popped up in the first round to go get James Pierce Jr.
Yes.
The Cowboys pick should be the Packers, and it's not.
But today it will be.
No. Sorry, I said that backwards.
Yeah.
The Packers pick is actually the Cowboys. So when we are picking for the Packers here, I want to make sure that I get this changed right after the show is over. But actually.
I mean,
I don't even need to wait. We're going to enter the draft right here, and we're going to do this trade. We're going to do this trade.
Yeah, Cowboys. No need to wait. By the way, I opened the finest bottle of wine when I realized that we don't have to pick for the Packers for 2 years. I just sat there with a smile on my face, swirling it around and looked over at my family and said, "Do you know what this means?" And they just ignored me. But man, what a feeling! What a feeling!
I did not even think of that.
Yes,
I did not even
think of that. Life has
never
been this sweet.
Oh man, that's beautiful. For anybody out there who might be watching for the first time, God damn it, I just messed it up. Anyways, I'm gonna trade the Packers pick when we get to that point in time.
We're off and running.
Yeah, we're doing great, folks. Anybody out there who's watching the show for the first time, maybe found us out from summer scouting this past summer, what's up? Glad you're rocking with us. Glad to have you here as an addict. Over the last couple of years, we've always very much struggled to pick for the Packers because the Packers have very specific thresholds that they operate by. The fans know it very well. Those who cover the team know it very well.
They own the team.
And
the fans own the team, so they know the thresholds.
They are stockholders. Yeah. Mike Renner, R.I.P. He's not dead. He's just.
I was gonna say, what happened?
Jeez. No,
jump scare.
He introduces himself to people as like, "Hey, Mike Renner, Packers shareholder," and it's because obviously he has season tickets, so he gets to say he's a shareholder. But you're right. Now we don't have to pick for the Packers. Maybe we will torture ourselves with a Packers only 7-round mock draft at some point.
Yeah,
for a
during
live
the season.
Yes, yeah, something like that. Okay, let's get it kicked off. Let's just get to it. Cleveland Browns. I edited the order. I played God here, and I do not love the Cleveland Browns' chances this upcoming season. I think it's going to be a tumultuous time at quarterback, and I think that there are parts of the roster that I have big question marks with. So, with them picking at number 1 overall, I must ask you, Connor, do you want to pick for the odds or the evens? Start us off.
I want the evens.
Okay.
And it's not because you put the Jets at 4. There's a couple teams on the evens here that I'm particularly excited to talk about.
Packers.
And you know what? Yeah. I never make a decision when you ask me that. So I'm changing. That's one of my New Year's resolutions in September.
Yes.
Is that I'm going to actually make decisions when you ask me what order should we do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Is that too late to make a New Year's resolution? September after the New Year's?
No. I'm going to say that it's early. I'm going to say that you're on top of it. You know what I'm saying?
Go. Thank you.
So you're way ahead of the curve. It's like one of those Instagram reels where you watch and people are like, "Oh, people wait until January to make the New Year's resolutions." No, I'm doing it in September.
Right.
While you're sitting on your couch waiting for January 1st, I'm making real moves.
Yeah, look at me. I've decided I want evens. No pressure or anything. The Browns have won.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure actually. So I think it's going to be a quarterback mainly. This is just from my own scouting perspective. I liked Shador, but I don't know if they're going to give him really a fair chance in Cleveland to develop even to the point where they wouldn't take a quarterback if they were picking number 1 overall, right? I didn't love Dalen Gabriel like that when he was coming out. I don't think Joe Flacco is obviously the long-term answer for this team. And I think the big question mark is just like, okay, do you go Arch Manning at the top? I'm not going to, just because of, like, it's one thing for Peyton and Eli to come out and say, yeah, Arch isn't going to declare. And Archie to come out and say, yeah, but like, right. Arch isn't going to declare. If he was going to come out this year and play on fire and Texas was going to be like a national championship type of a team and he was going to be a Heisman contender or even winner, then it's a lot harder to say no to the NFL at that point.
Yep.
But
you accomplish what you need to accomplish.
Exactly. But certainly with him playing the way that he did in week 1, just like we were talking about a couple minutes ago, it's not that we think that that's how Arch is going to be, but if he wasn't going to light the world on fire this year, then yeah, he's probably coming back next year. And so right. Do you want to do this draft basically saying we're not going to pick him at this point in time? What do you want to do with him?
I think it's fair to say, listen, so many notable people have been saying he doesn't plan on coming out this year. And I agree with you, Trevor, that unless he just lights the world on fire, then let's roll with that. And quite frankly, he wasn't good enough in one game. It was a huge game. He wasn't good enough in one game to warrant the conversation of being the number 1 pick here. So that's that. Right. And if he changes that by the end of the season, then we will change with it.
It's going to be the ultimate curveball every single mock draft that we do. Is Arch available in this one? And technically, he is draft eligible. He is available. So the reason why I'm going to keep him in the mock draft simulator for now,
he has to be there,
is I want you guys out there to have if you think Arch is going to leave, I want to give you the power to be able to pick him. And if you don't think he's going to leave, then don't pick him. Then you don't have to. But like that's today. Sort of why he's right. And so we won't pick him here. I'm tempted to pick Lenoris.
Interesting.
Because of just how incredibly talented he is.
The tools, yeah. I mean, that's the combo, right? If you're going to take him number 1, you're like, I am betting on his tools developing this year, as we saw some really good moments. I would like that sack rate to go down, which is a big thing to me. But obviously the size, the physical ability, the freight train running, he's got a big arm. Like it's all there for him.
I think I am going to go Nussmeier though.
Okay. That's what I would have done at 2 if you took Sellers.
Yeah, I'm oh man. Wait, where does his dad coach right now?
He's the Saints offensive coordinator.
He is the Saints offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Damn, am I going to take that from you? Am I going to take that from him?
Damn, are we about to orchestrate a trade on our first mock draft?
No, we're not doing that. I'm not doing trades.
No, I know. I was kidding. There's no way.
I'll take Nuss. Okay. I'll take Nuss and make it happen. Very confident quarterback. I really do. He wasn't perfect, but I love the way that he played on the road against Clemson. That's one of the most talented defenses in the country.
Right.
I don't think that Clemson had their best day on either side of the ball, but still, the way that Nuss over the last 2 years specifically has showed that he is not afraid of the biggest moment. I just love that about him as a quarterback. He's a total gunslinger. He makes all those big-time throws. I'll go with Nuss at number 1 to kick us off here.
Yeah, man, I'm with you all the way. Listen, there's so many combos like that, or this quarterback that had all this hype coming into the year was just okay week 1. It's like, man, are we saying that about all these guys? What does that tell us? That maybe they need some time to get rolling? Mm-hmm. I mean, I watched as many already as I could. Like, Mendoza had an up and down day. I know that there was the drop on the deep pass that was beautiful, but he also had some low moments. Klubnik had some low moments. Nussmeier was uneven, but I still love his confidence and his pocket presence. And Sellers had those wow moments, but also, once again, like, let's get the sack rate down. So yeah, it's that conversation. Now you have to factor in level of competition on this one, but Mateer balled out. I mean, yeah, he's got a big test against Michigan this week where we'll have a larger conversation with him. But yeah, if you like Mateer, and I know we've liked a lot of things about him on this show, it's, he's a trajectory guy that could fly up. But the Saints at 2, you take Nussmeier at 1. I'm going to take Sellers here. And once again, with these mock drafts, this is going to be a little bit of what I think could happen and where things stand right now. this isn't a purely like, hey, I'm just looking at my rankings and taking the next guy, or hey, I'm looking at, all the NFL projections and taking the next guy. It's going to be a little bit of a blend. Mm-hmm. But Sellers right now, with his physical ability, he has the chance to rise up into this territory. And we are in a range right now where the Browns could need a quarterback, the Saints could need a quarterback, and there's a chance that Shuck plays well enough, or Shador or Gabriel play well enough that this combo changes. But right now, I'm just not willing to believe in that yet. I mean, Shuck's not even starting to start the season. So I'll go Sellers here for the Saints.
Yeah, supremely talented. I mean, you mentioned, and I kind of like clicked on it there to show everybody. You could see sort of how they played if you have a PFF Plus subscription. But I mean, the time to throw is still high for Sellers, and there's a lot of things that he did that was great. Intermediate passing grade, near elite level. Deep passing grade, near elite level. He had a couple of dimes to Nick Harbor in this game, which, by the way, Nick Harbor,
good sign.
Great sign. They showed him pregame, and I was like, dude, he put on muscle. Because that was when I saw Nick as a freshman and a sophomore, he looked skinny. Like, he looked skinny as a rail. Yeah, and it looked like he was going to get pushed around, and he did get pushed around. He looks like he's put on legit weight, and not only is he still just as explosive, but he was pretty good in contested catch situations as well. I mean, like, that fade ball on the side of the end zone, in the corner of the end zone, I think the DB did a really nice job getting their hand in there to make the ball move at the end. But, like, for all intents and purposes, that's a catch. Is it a catch by the letter of the law? No. But, like, when you're thinking about it from a Nick Harbor perspective, that's a contested catch. He did an incredible job there. And so if he's doing that, we got an exciting player to watch. So Lenore Sellers there at number 2. Ton of potential there for him. He once again showcased that there were, I think, a couple of chances where Virginia Tech had the opportunity to bring him down in the backfield, and he's just like shrugging off tackles. I mean, the dude is strong as an ox, so it's hard to not really get carried away with his potential. The Tennessee Titans at number 3 here. I think this is, obviously you're not thinking quarterback at all because you got Cam Ward. You got J.C. Latham. I mean, they signed Dan Moore. Could they go with Spencer Fano? Or is it just I think it might just be Caleb Downs. I think this might be a just don't overthink it type of thing.
Get the best player available.
You're just getting the best football player that's out there. A lot of different directions that the Tennessee Titans could go, but honestly, until we see what manifests on the field for them, I'm just going to give them the highest graded player that I watched this offseason in Caleb Downs.
Yeah, you're not going to get an argument from me. I think it makes a ton of sense. I'm going to go maybe with the first surprise here.
With the Jets?
With the Jets, because Peter Woods is staring them in the face. Uh-huh. They have stopgaps now next to Quinnen. Going into the camp, it looked awful, but now they traded for Harrison Phillips and the Jawan Briggs. So they have some capable guys next to Quinnen, but obviously that wouldn't stop you from taking Peter Woods, who's an awesome defensive tackle. But I'm going to take my number 1 wide receiver from the summer in Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson is a stud. He's a stud. Body control, movement skills. I think he has a chance to be special. I really, really do. He obviously had a pretty monster weekend.
He did. By the way, I just clicked on his profile, and for anybody who is like, yo, how does he have a 64.8 receiving grade? It's because like half of the game, the broadcast footage for the game stopped working. Like the feed stopped working.
I was gonna say that can't be right. It had to be
no. And like quite literally, there's I think maybe more than half the game that our graders haven't gotten to yet because
makes sense.
Somehow they lost the feed to this game. So this number will be much better for Jordan Tyson. I really was kind of just pulling it up to show you last year's number from him at above an 80 receiving grade.
Yeah, man. I love this player. The Jets have nothing at wide receiver after Garrett Wilson. So if we're going best player available for them, and I mean, there could be a combo a month from now that a quarterback is at this spot. It's not just a do you believe or not believe in Justin Fields thing. It's also, do I believe in a quarterback in this spot right now? We could be talking about Drew Aller, John Mateer, guys like that here. But man, Tyson's such a feel-good pick for me for a team that really needs a high-end number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, Tyson's a stud.
He's a stud.
We talked about it over summer scouting in the wide receiver episode. Again, if you guys want to hear more in-depth thoughts on any of these players, just go back to any of the positional episodes that we did throughout the summer. We give you a lot more notes and background and, athletic scores and like all that kinds of stuff with all these guys, as well as the film notes from reviewing all of these players. Jordan Tyson, one of the best intermediate wide receivers that we watched last year. Somebody who knows how to handle a lot of in-breaking stuff and a lot of stuff to the sideline as well for those deep comeback routes. But he is somebody who knows how to run any route. And I think that he is an absolute stud. So getting him in the top 5 might sound a little rich to some people, but man, he's a damn good football player. Well, and the Jets would need it,
right? Like, obviously Spencer Fano deserves to go in this spot. The Jets tackles are 22 and 21 years old.
Yeah.
And both first-round picks. So the Jets don't need a tackle.
Right.
So obviously I would have taken Caleb Downs. They need a safety. Peter Woods was in the conversation. I'm sure quarterback could be in the conversation eventually. But yeah, they desperately need a number 2 wide receiver.
You mentioned Spencer Fano. He's who I'm going to take for the New York Giants here at number 5. The Giants, really great defensive line now. I think the second level is pretty good, and I think the secondary could be a lot better than people think. I mean, Drew Phillips is a stud. If Deontay Banks has a bounce-back season this year, you sign Paulson at Debo, you've got Tyler Nubin, you've got Javon Holland, Abdul Carter, obviously, with those front 7 guys as well. Like, I think the Giants' defense could be pretty damn good. I think that long-term offensive line, you drafting Spencer Fano to hopefully play next to a very healthy Andrew Thomas for the rest of his career could set up some really good bookend tackles for you, like you sort of talked about there for the Jets with those young guys there. Spencer Fano, one of the best run-blocking offensive tackles in all of college football last year, and he picked up right where he left off in this first game that he had against UCLA, 85.4 overall blocking grade. You see the gap grade as a run blocker there, an 85.9. The zone grade was a little bit less, but we know that that's going to go up because he was really strong in that area last year as well. So he's a true ass kicker, and he's somebody that I think could be fantastic with Andrew Thomas. So I'm going to go Spencer Fano to the Giants there at 5.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer to me. He's a great player. Utah, those tackles, man. Utah looked like a machine this weekend, and the combo's only going to blow up even further for them. 6, the Panthers. This is an interesting spot for me because I'm thinking front 7 all the way. I just think Peter Woods is too talented to not take here. And I know they spent some money and resources at interior defensive line this offseason, but nobody like Peter Woods, who was my top player coming into this year, right ahead of Caleb Downs. So this guy, and he had a really good game against LSU. He's obviously incredibly talented at the stack and shed, getting off blockers to stop the run. He's got power as a rusher. Peter Woods would be a guy that you'd feel really good about for that Panthers front to start, really shutting down the run and give you some juice as an interior rusher.
Yeah, Peter Woods, and I know they spent some money on the interior defensive line with some of those free agents that they brought in.
Yeah, not like him though. Different kind of players.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't think if Peter Woods staring you in the face, like I don't know if you can not pick him there, and pairing him with Derek Brown would be pretty nasty there for the Carolina Panthers. The Las Vegas Raiders picking at number 7 here in this mock draft. I actually think that they're going to pick a little bit lower here.
I'm with you. I like the Raiders this year compared to how the markets view them.
I do too. It's to me, it's one of AJ Harris or Jermon McCoy. McCoy's still coming back from that ACL tear. Avion Terrell, I think, could be in this conversation as well. AJ Harris didn't have the best first game, as you can see. That run defense grade was low for him this past week against Nevada. But he's somebody who was a really good run defender last season, so I expect him to bounce back there. If we're going a little bit more predictive, I think I'd go McCoy just because he does have that size with him as well as that athleticism. If he comes back from that ACL tear and he looks really good, he is that shutdown man coverage type of corner. And I think that AJ Harris can be as well, but I think there's a little bit more love for Jermon McCoy, even though I like AJ Harris a lot. So I'm gonna get McCoy off the board here at number 7 with the Raiders.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's a really talented cover player that plays a physical but patient brand of football, and the Raiders would love that at corner right now. Number 8, the Colts. Man, what an interesting team. Because
they're cashing in their Money in the Bank briefcase and just running in with Arch Manning, even though we said that we weren't going to pick him.
You're not allowed to do this. They don't care. They just knock both of us out with the briefcase.
he doesn't declare, and yet they hand in the card for Roger Goodell to just read his name, and they're like, are you allowed to do this?
Chris Ballard taking Arch Manning, even though Arch Manning has not declared for the draft.
Big brain.
Like, I need this
Future
to work.
move.
Andrew Luck left me. I'm owed this. So, obviously,
Andrew Luck left me is the new my wife left me.
Yeah, Andrew Luck left me. Obviously, once again, we're not taking Arch in today's draft. There's not a lot of confidence, I think, long-term into Daniel Jones being the guy. They've made their decision with Anthony Richardson. If you know Chris Ballard, he's going to scout traits and size. And I know that got him into trouble before at quarterback, but I don't think he's going to get away from being who he is. Like I said, once upon a time when they were not in the business of drafting a quarterback, they actually traded with the Jets to allow them to come up. I knew Ballard was one of the people in the NFL that was saying Josh Allen's going to be awesome. And a lot of people were afraid to say that at the time. So, and he's also had his miss now with Anthony Richardson and other misses. All that being said, Trevor, I'm going to go with Drew Aller here. And I am not changing my stance that what Aller needs to do this year is play his best football in the big games that he has not over the last 2 years. But he has made a lot of improvements with accuracy, rhythm, and timing over these last 2 years as well. If Aller does step up in their tougher games, he will be a top 10 pick. If he continues to do more of the same that we saw last year, evaluations with him will be a little more scattershot. But today, the Colts at 8, Drew Aller comes off the board here for a team that's going to need a quarterback. And this is the kind of quarterback that I think they would gravitate towards.
The Dallas Cowboys. Very interesting now what Dallas is going to do. No Micah Parsons. Depending on what happens with George Pickens after this season, they could potentially need a wide receiver, but they have George Pickens for now, so I'm not going to give them any sort of wide receiver there. They could certainly use a blue chip running back. Jeremiah Love, which, man, that game plan for Notre Dame was tough against Miami. Like, I don't know. Jeremiah Love must have been hurt or something. I don't know how you give that guy 4 touches in the first in the first half.
Inexplicable. That guy should never have that many touches in the quarter.
And then they start the second half, and like, I get it. They were all of a sudden down 14, but then what did they have? Their first 9 or 10 plays after being down 2 scores were passing plays? Like, what do they think? CJ Carr's Drew Brees? What are we doing here? Jeremiah Love's your best player. So I don't know. That was. I think that that's going to be an outlier of a game when it comes to Jeremiah Love's usage. He is one of the best players in college football, and he even showed that like when he got the football. You see the elite rushing grade that he had last season. I'm not going to take a running back for them there at number 9, though. I think it has to be something along the defensive line, right? It's got to be a TJ Parker, maybe even a Ruben Bain Jr.
I was going to say, you talk about that same game, the Bain train came to town.
Dude, that he was
dominant.
Yeah, dominant.
Top
truly
5
dominant.
pick kind of game.
I think I'm going to take Ruben Bain Jr. here because I think he now the thing with the Cowboys is they can't stop the run, right? And they got Kenny Clark back, but like Kenny Clark, he hasn't had a good run defense
last year.
No, Kenny Clark wasn't good against the run last year, or at least for the grades he wasn't good against the run. But he had a foot injury that he was dealing with, and so I don't know. Maybe he'll be a little bit better. Certainly, I think he could be the best run defender on the Cowboys. But how much is that really saying when the Cowboys were one of the worst run defense teams in the nation last year, in the nation for NFL? Yeah, I'm going to go with Ruben Bain Jr. I think he can play 5-tech for you. I think he can play as a 4-3 defensive end, but I also think he can kick inside to a 3-tech. He was unbelievable against Notre Dame, one of the better offensive lines in the country. So I'll go with Ruben Bain for the Cowboys there at number 9.
That's what I would have done. Full transparency, I would have made the same exact pick. And it feels like 9 could be as far as Bain goes in our mock drafts this year with the way he looked. All right, so number 10, Seattle Seahawks, which one of the harder teams to figure out what their results look like this season in terms of where they'll be picking. Right here at 10, so they have Darnold. They obviously have sunk a lot of resources into this offensive line over the years. Hopefully that's better this year. I think this defense could be a strength of this team. Cooper Kupp feels like kind of a stopgap as that second wide receiver. Torrey Horton's had a really, really good summer.
Right.
This is a team where you can kind of go all over the place here, right? You can kind of say, hey, let's take one of the best players available. I kind of would like to maybe get younger up front on defense is where I gravitate towards. I'm either going to go Caleb Banks or TJ Parker here. Now,
Caleb Banks would definitely be their type.
Right, and then you'd have a front. I know Leonard Williams is getting older, but you have Byron Murphy, who's more of that gap shooting type of athletic talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Caleb Banks. I think he's a force in the middle of a defense. I was very high on him with the big board, and once again, this is Seattle to me getting a little. I know Byron Murphy's young, but getting a little younger as a whole up front with that defensive line that McDonald, is going to prioritize over and over again. Now, if Sam has a really, really tough year, this would move to quarterback. I think with Kupp's age and depending how much Torrey Horton does, we could talk about another receiver for them. We'll see how this offensive line gels together. But yeah, right now I like taking one of the better defensive talents.
Yeah, if you're talking about wide receiver for them, it'd probably be like Carnell Tate or Denzel Boston.
Yeah, size.
Think. Because
they're
size. They're not going to do Mekhi Lemon for as much as I love him, because it's sort of like a Jack Smith-Njigba thing, unless you just felt like you had, studs there. And they were just going to be unguardable. Maybe you would, but I think that would be more Denzel Boston sort of territory there if they were going to go with a wide receiver. All right, we got 10 picks in the books. Time for an NFLSE betting segment brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings. We're going to take a look at some lines for Week 1 in the NFL, and we're gonna build a little parlay here for you guys. So these are over at DraftKings Sportsbook or the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You can check those out there. When we were talking a little bit before the show, we had our eyes. I certainly had my eyes. You guys know this on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers line, and they're taking on the Atlanta Falcons. They're in Atlanta, so it's a divisional game, but the Buccaneers are only favored by 2.5 in this game, and I think they are going to be an incredibly confident team. Obviously, not having Tristan Wirfs is going to be a big deal on that offensive line, but you're counting on really young players to step up in Week 1 right away for the Falcons to really take advantage of that. I still think the offense is going to be incredibly potent for the Buccaneers. So, Connor, I like the money line in this game, and I think that Baker Mayfield is going to be incredibly confident. You were talking about liking him throwing more than 2 touchdowns.
Two plus.
Yeah,
because if you parlay that with the money line, you're sitting in pretty nice territory. And Baker's minus 150 to throw 2+. With the rate that Baker starts to throw touchdowns at during the season, this is a number that this is probably as good as you're going to get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if you want it, we could even do the Bucs to overcome the 2.5. I don't mind that. So the odds are a little bit better. So we can get that. Get Baker to throw more than 2 touchdowns. And on the other side of things, though, I do think Drake London is going to eat. So, more than 80 receiving yards. Let's see. What's 70 or 80 receiving yards here for Drake London?
His receptions are at 7.
Okay, so receiving yards, 80 plus, so more than 80 is minus 106. Now, all these lines are subject to change, obviously, but you can see these over at DraftKings Sportsbook app. I like that. I like Bucs to even cover the 2.5.
Okay.
I like Baker Mayfield over 2 passing touchdowns, and then Drake London. I think that the Falcons offense is going to try to keep up, of course, with a high potent Bucs offense, and there we go. Those are the 3 legs that we just cooked up right there. If you guys are thinking of cooking up your own parlay over at DraftKings Sportsbook, don't let one bad leg haunt the parlay. Okay, parlays, they turn into payouts, and now even near misses won't haunt your bet. This NFL season is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is rewriting the rules with Ghost Leg, a new game-changing promotion that turns close calls into cold, hard cash. Best of all, it's available to all DraftKings customers. Here's how it works. You build any 3+ leg pregame NFL parlay on Sunday, apply your Ghost Leg token, and if one of the legs loses, DraftKings makes it vanish. Poof. Like it never even existed. The payouts, and it pays you out in cash for the rest. Last season, over 30 million parlays were lost by a single leg. I was a couple of those. Hand up. This year, Ghost Leg gives those busted bets a second life. Like I said, there were a couple times last year where I was one leg short. They had this happen a couple of times, and it's always so heartbreaking. So with this, man, now you feel a lot better about it. No more busted parlays to haunt you all season. Obviously, I'm still talking about mine. With Ghost Leg, the bad leg vanishes, the payout doesn't. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code PFF. It's promo code PFF to unlock Ghost Leg, the promotion that makes one bad leg disappear and pays you out in real cash. Ghost your losses, get your payout in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems with gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Opt in for single-use token. Minimum 3+ legs and minus $500 per leg. Max bet varies. If only one leg of the bet loses, bet will settle as if only the winning legs were placed and pays out in cash based on the odds when the bet was placed. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. All right, back to the mock draft simulator here. We've got the New England Patriots picking at number 11. Ooh, where am I going to go with the Pats here? Pats made a lot of changes, a lot of young guys on the offensive line. Could still go offensive line. Could go wide receiver. I wonder how they're going to use Kyle Williams this year, though. Like, is he going to kind of be like a Mekhi Lemon guy? Obviously, I don't think they need a running back. I don't think they need a quarterback. I think they're good at tight end.
The offensive line still needs more guys.
I do think that it still needs more guys, but basically, I'm trying to tell myself, like, do I pick TJ Parker for him, you know?
Right.
Because he's still here.
It's weird, too, what's going on right now with them. Not Harold Landry, not him, but that it seems like K'Lavon Chasen is going to play a little over Keion White. And Keion White.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to rotate guys, but Chasen this summer apparently has kind of leapfrogged Keion White a little bit. So their edge group is very interesting right now.
Well, I'm going to pick TJ Parker off talent over Caden Proctor and Francis Mauigoa because I like Mauigoa. I think he's sort of that mid to late first round offensive tackle type. Caden Proctor, I think he's a guard, man. I just think he's a guard.
Yeah.
He really struggled in pass pro against Florida State this past weekend.
We said, though, this summer, he's massive, and there's a lot of incredible things when you watch the tape, but there's also a lot that we need to pump the brakes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I was like, let's pump the brakes a little bit with this one. So yeah, his development is still a work in progress.
So I don't love either of those guys enough to take them over TJ Parker. So I'm just going to go Parker here for the Pats.
Okay. So Parker goes to the Pats at 11. That brings us to the Rams at 12. I think the Rams are going to win 10 or 11 games this year, by the way.
Do you?
Yes. I think them and the
Stafford's
Niners
healthy.
Yeah, I mean, duh, of course. If Stafford doesn't play, then that prediction is shot beyond belief. But if he's healthy with that defensive line, those receivers, and a guy named Sean McVay, I don't think we'll be picking for the Rams at 12. But if we do, and this is where it gets fun, this conversation goes back to corner for me.
Yeah, could have done corner for them last year.
Right. It goes back to, it's a combo we had plenty of times last year as well. So, yeah, and I know it's a little early. Once again, I don't know if they'll be picking here. Maybe this is just me taking a guy, one of my guys, because I thought A.J. Harris here as well. I think A.J. Harris would be in this combo. I mean, you know me, I'm going to take Xavier Scott. And
love it. Let's go.
Your boy. This is one of my guys. So, yeah. Which they played Western Illinois, so not a ton to see from Illinois. They took care of their business. Gabe Akers had at least a sack in that game. It's we're going to see them in bigger games this year.
I love it, man. I think this is going to be the only first round mock draft that anybody sees Xavier Scott, but he's a hell of a football player. So if it gives people reason to watch Illinois and watch Xavier Scott, then I'm all for that. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now on the clock at number 13. Man, a lot of changes for the Steelers. Who's left at quarterback? Oh, Arch Manning. There it is. Yeah, what do you know?
Just keeps happening.
It's never going to get old, people. I think they take quarterback, right?
I kind of have to.
They kind of have to. I am a Sam Levitt guy.
You are.
As
love
are
Sam
many
Levitt. People are already angry with me that I have not been that enamored with Sam Levitt. But
and I mean, like he's inconsistent. Don't get me wrong. Like Arizona State did not ask him to throw the ball very much last year because they had Cam Scatterbo.
Right.
This year, and he had one of the lowest turnover-worthy play rates in college football last year. But again, he wasn't asked to be a daredevil. Like he wasn't. I would say even less than that. He wasn't even asked to go win games with his arms very often. With his arm, singular. He's not ambidextrous. Although,
look at those arms on Sam Levitt.
Sick. That'd be pretty sick if he was.
Wow, that would be something.
But I'm a Sam Levitt guy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to develop into a heck of a quarterback. I really do.
I mean, I'm going to have the same conversation about a quarterback on this show, so this is the time to do it.
Yeah, you're going to take John Mateer at some point.
Hell, freaking yeah, man. I almost took him to the Jets at 4.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, I'm going to take Sam Levitt to the Steelers because I think that they kind of just have to, right? I mean, like Aaron Rodgers didn't play beyond this year, and even if he is, you're taking a quarterback anyways.
Could you imagine a team took a guy and they got up to the podium after and they go, yeah, we just kind of just had to, and they walked away? I'd applaud it. I would applaud that.
Look, teams say that without actually saying that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like they pigeonhole themselves into drafting one position, and then they go like, "Oh yeah, I mean, he was a great football player, even independent of need. You know, he would have been our pick no matter what." Get out of here! You picked him because you didn't get anybody in free agency, and you were cheeks in this category last year.
You got backed into a corner.
It's the Achilles heel of your team.
You got backed into a corner.
Yeah, we had to do it to him.
Had to do it to him.
All right, Dolphins at 14.
This is where I'm going to take A.J. Harris. I still think this team needs a young corner.
Totally.
That can be the number one of the defense. They have a lot to like at pass rusher and defensive line. You know, the safety group, even after bringing Minka back, is a little bit of a work in progress on the other side, but Caleb's gone, and it's a little early for like a Kamari Ramsey. So, yeah, for me, this is A.J. Harris territory. Get yourself a guy that could be a number one corner.
All right, so we got A.J. Harris off
outside
the board.
Corner.
Outside corner, right. We got just a little bit of a recap of how the draft went, scrolling up for you guys who are watching on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Chicago Bears here at number 15. This is too easy. Jeremiah Love. I was out here kind of like thinking like, oh, like how could I big brain this? You know, are they going one of these tackles? Are they upgrading at the tackle position? You know, could they use somebody else in the secondary? No. Get the best running back in the draft. Make the offense even better. We just obviously we talked about how shocked we were that Jeremiah Love was underutilized the way that he was against Miami. I don't think that that's going to happen moving forward. And even when he got the ball, you saw flashes of brilliance from this guy. I think him and a Ben Johnson offense is going to be beautiful music. So I'll take him at 15 here for the Bears.
So 16, the Cardinals.
Yeah,
they're a team that, you know, you are excited about year 2 of Marvin Harrison Jr. and obviously what Trey McBride could do. And this offensive line has gotten better over the years. They've added a lot to the defense, and I think that should show up this year. Kind of feels like a team, though. You'd like a number 2 wide receiver in this offense that can give you a little shot in the arm right here.
Some.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and just say, hey, let's just make a strength of strength. We already have 2 big pass catchers. Let's get another one. I'm going to take Denzel Boston in this spot.
Ooh.
Boston is physical, catch point guy.
There's a little bit of Michael Wilson erasure.
Michael Wilson's fine. And by the way, you just did Kyle Monungai erasure, and I stayed quiet.
All right.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, all right. Well, you didn't stand up for your guy. I'm standing up for my guy.
I was laying in the weeds. I kept it in my back pocket to attack later. I was like, I'm going to need this at some point. And I needed the next pick. Couldn't even let it marinate for 2 picks.
All I'm doing, think about it. Ben Johnson, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Kyle Monungai, Jeremiah
Love. Yeah, it's gnarly.
Yeah. See? See?
It's gnarly.
See?
Yeah, I like it.
I wasn't attacking your
I'm doing the
ethics
same thing.
like
Marvin
a draft
Harrison
analyst
Jr.,
like you are.
Denzel Boston, number 3 wide receiver.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. 11 personnel starter.
It's true. 11 personnel is the new base. All right, Denzel Boston off the board for the Arizona Cardinals there. I actually didn't watch his tape from this past week. They played Colorado State.
He made some pretty sick plays.
1 missed tackle for it. Average depth of target was 21.
Yeah.
They're opening it up.
He's a guy that could just go up climb the ladder and
love it.
Physical. Him and Carnell Tate. I mean, obviously in doses, but both looked the part right away this week.
Yeah, speaking of Carnell Tate.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I'm thinking about him right here for the Vikings at 17. Obviously, my guy, Mekhi Lemon, is still on the board. Do they use Justin Jefferson in the slot too much for Mekhi Lemon to maybe be redundant for them? I don't know.
Jordan Addison as well.
Yeah, because like Addison could play in the slot. He could play on the outside a little bit. He played in the outside when he was at Pitt, certainly, and when he was at USC.
Yeah, he could do both.
I think if they're going to draft a wide receiver, it's going to be Carnell Tate. I'm trying to see if there's somebody else that would make sense. Maybe corner. What's the safety room like? Dylan Thieneman is the next guy. I like Teo Johnson a lot too. I don't think he's, as of right now, he's not going to go in the first round. I don't know if Thieneman is either though. I don't think I would go defensive line since they brought in so many new guys.
Do you go full freak show and say, hey, we're going to roll out TJ Hawkinson and Kenyon Sadiq?
Yeah, I mean, I thought of that. Which, by the way, speaking of tight ends for the Minnesota Vikings, Benjamin Jurasik made the team.
Nice.
The people who listen to this podcast know that this was a good football player.
Right.
That we did not understand. I certainly did not understand why the league was so low on Benjamin Jurasik.
Why did college kind of just forget about him?
No idea.
I mean, maybe
player.
Maybe he should have went somewhere after Stanford that kind of featured him as much as a college tight end could be featured. But either way, good for him. A really underrated player. Obviously from the infamous family that invented the baby carrot. So great things were always destined for him.
That's very true. Oh, man. Maybe you do just go Kenyon Sadiq.
Go full Freako.
I think they would, man. I think that Kevin O'Connell would not be afraid to use Kenyon Sadiq on the line of scrimmage, in the slot, as an X receiver, as a fullback out of the backfield in a 2-back set. Like, Sadiq is an incredible football player. And, man, you see what he did as a run blocker this past week against Montana State as well. I'm going to go Sadiq here. I'm going to take Sadiq at 17 for the Vikings.
Man, I love that you talked yourself into that one because it's just one of those fun picks.
Yep.
The Broncos at 18, obviously a team that expectations are significantly raised this year. This could be one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're a tricky one because this offensive line is good. They have their quarterback of the future. They just took R.J. Harvey in the second round. They have a lot of different wide receivers. I know they're really happy with the summer they got from Pat Bryant. They're happy with the steps that Troy Franklin took this summer. They still have Marvin Mims and Cortland Sutton. I would have taken Sadiq in that spot and said that after Evan
get absolutely
Ingram,
wrecked, brother.
Well, I suggested it, so I did it to myself. I played
First
myself.
one of the year. Get sniped, buddy.
I absolutely played myself. So, you know what, though? I know he had some... Actually, let me check one more thing with the Broncos. We're in our first pick there. It's like, oh, this is a little tricky of a spot. I'm looking at their center situation right now.
By the way, everybody, since I'm scrolling the MDS board, once again, just a reminder, this is not my board. So what we are doing this year is I have 2 different big boards that are uploaded to the PFF.com site. The first one, and this is the one, it's a little bit of system and processes, which we're in the process of changing, but it hasn't changed yet. So I'm trying to make things a little bit more straightforward and efficient. The MDS right now pulls from whatever the front-facing big board is over at PFF.com. For the longest time, that was just my big board. And sometimes I would feel a little bit of a struggle to maybe move guys up or down my own big board for the sake of the mock draft simulator working as maybe we predicted it's going to, instead of just, how I see guys. And so this year we have two different big boards. The front-facing big board that you'll see if you go to PFF.com is the PFF predictive big board. And so right now, if you're looking at this and you've been watching this show and you're like, hold up, these guys are different than Trevor's rankings that he talked about last week. It's because I'm curating this board to be what I think is going to be more realistic in terms of where I think consensus or the NFL might be drafting guys. That could be very different from my opinion. So even though you can't see my board in the mock draft simulator, you can go to PFF.com. And if you go to the right side of the screen, you will see the settings button. It says source. You can click that and then click version, and you will see my 2026 board that's right there. You can click on that. So that's why, if you're wondering, things are a little bit different. You're seeing some players that are in a different order than what we talked about last week. That is the new procedure of how we're doing things to make sure that I can stay as true to my rankings as I want, and the big board can function as realistically as we think that it's going to be. So hopefully that bought you enough time there.
I was done like 3 seconds into you talking after that. But you are such a good friend for saving my bacon, because it actually allowed me to at least have some context and explanation. And Broncos fans, when I get stuck like this, it's either for reasons of, oh God, there's too many options for you guys. It's that this team's awesome. Like, this roster is really, really good. That there's not some layup need. And I'm sure you'll have some responses that, you're a little bit more in the weeds where you go, actually, we think next year this could be a need. I know Luke Wattenberg has has really had to compete over the last 2 years and take this center job. He is a projected free agent at the end of this year. This is Connor Lew for me.
You're sniping Connor Lew from me?
How do you like that? Yeah, I'm taking Connor Lew. The Broncos' offensive line just got even better. So, yeah.
I'd have rather you had Kenyon Sadiq, so I could have given Connor Lew to the Texans.
Yeah, well, sucks to suck.
I physically watched the hamster wheel turn in your head.
If you didn't give me time and explain the big board, I could have just panicked and been like, Cade Klubnik as a backup quarterback. But instead,
you can never have too many.
You need another guy just in case Bo Nix is tired one day. Nope.
Connor Lew.
Masterclass of a pick.
Yeah, if you do say so yourself. Connor Lew rules. I like that pick there. The Houston Texans now up at number 19. Well, this was going to be Connor Lew. Now, I think I'm going to take Caden Proctor. No.
Whoa.
No, I'm taking Jennings Dunker. Yeah.
There he is, your man.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, obviously in this draft, we're sort of like blending our picks with what we kind of think the consensus feels like right now for some of these guys going a little bit higher. Like you did with Xavier Scott, this is my seal of approval, Trevor Sikkema stamp on this pick right here. I think Jennings Dunker, he's listed as an offensive tackle for Iowa. I think he's playing guard at the NFL level. I think he's an absolute ass kicker. And this first game against Albany, the Great Danes, he was just that.
Scary hours at one point.
What do you mean?
It was one of the greatest moments in UAlbany history when they were winning 7-3.
Oh yeah, I forgot this game was actually close.
I was in our studio. I guess it was. I don't know if it was before my segment or whatever. We have like in front of the desk, we have the huge wall of every game, and there's UAlbany, Iowa, in the bottom left, right where I'm standing. And I'm like, you can't speak because live television's going on. But my eyes just widen and I start smiling around the studio. I'm like, 7-3. There's no way they're going to beat Iowa. And they didn't. They lost by like 24 points. But it was an amazing moment.
Okay.
Yeah, they fell apart.
Oh, it was Kansas State. Kansas State was the team that won at the very last second.
Didn't Army lose to Tarleton?
Yeah, they did. So, look, there is a quarterback who plays for Tarleton State. His name is Victor Gabalis. He used to play at Washington State, and when I say play, I mean I think he was either in a quarterback battle once and he lost it, and he was sort of just a backup. I cannot remember where he transferred to, and then he transferred to Tarleton State. I watched him in week 1, and the guy is confident as humanly possible. He is like Gardner Minshew 2.0 and like his whole look and persona. So might be a name that we talk about during some Stock Watch episodes later in the season, which, by the way, the first one is on Wednesday, so we're going to go more in-depthly into
I already got my little
some
notes
of those guys.
app going.
Oh, look at you.
How good
Look
did Saturday
you.
feel? Like you're watching the game and you're like, notes app. That's one of my guys.
Hell yeah, it did. Yeah. No, I
nice.
got all these guys that I kind of wanted to shout out and make sure that I looked up what the grades were, go watch some film, everything, man. I'm excited for this first Stock Watch episode on Wednesday. So anyways, Jennings Dunker, the offensive lineman from Iowa, who I think is going to play guard, getting to go to the Houston Texans there at number 19. I traded the Green Bay pick, so the Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock for you here at number 20. Remember, I gave them Reuben Bain Jr. at number 9.
All right, so the 20th pick, the Cowboys. This is, yes, they had Reuben Bain Jr., which is a pretty awesome start for them. So that adds, and they have Ezraku as a rookie, so you feel good now about their edge group.
Well, better. I don't know.
A little better.
You lost Micah Parsons. I don't know how good you could feel.
You're right. Well, I mean, I didn't make that decision. So.
just so people know.
Please put in the newspaper that it wasn't me.
The Dallas Star Telegram is like, the Micah Parsons trade, which Connor Rogers from the NFL Stock Exchange show had nothing to do with, end quote, comma.
Oh my God. It was him. He encouraged it. That's incredible.
Jerry gets up there. I called Connor, good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Works for NBC, does a great job on the Stock Pod NFL.
The Stock
show.
Pod. That's what Matthew Berry calls it. The Stock Watch Pod.
Shout out Matthew Berry, the GOAT.
Shout out. Legend.
Okay. You're up at 20.
This is one where I actually am going to be very curious how Cowboys fans feel. I want to take a tackle here. But the thing is, they have Steele under contract. So I'm kind of talking myself out of this. They've played so much offensive line Tetris over the years, mostly because of injuries. I want to see something. This is another one where I'm going to need a second to look at. No, it wouldn't be. I would take Mauingoa.
Okay.
They have Guyton. No, this offensive line. This is it for a couple years. Actually, I take that back.
Unless Guyton plays really poorly.
Right, and he's been hurt. Right. I believe. I think he's been hurt.
I do not know.
Which is.
I do not know.
Yeah, he came back to the field this week with a brace on his right knee. He is told, Clarence Hill Jr., who covers the team, said that Guyton told him his plan is to play, but nothing has been decided. So, okay. So this is a kind of rain check it. I'm not going to take the tackle for them right now, but you are absolutely right, Trevor. This is a big year for Guyton.
Yes.
Because he's got to play well. You have Tyler Smith. You have Cooper Beebe. Tyler Booker, who they just took, and they extended Terrence Steele. So a lot of this offensive line is solidified, but Guyton has to be that dude. Pickens, they'd have to get a contract extension done with, so this there could be a wide receiver pick here. You took Jeremiah Love, and we already had that combo. It's a little early for running back.
Are you going to take Nick Singleton?
No, not this early. No.
Okay.
No. It's tricky because I would like another defensive tackle here with Kenny Clark getting older, but we kind of cleaned up that board. I mean, Caleb Banks, Peter Woods, they went.
Big Citrus is the only one.
And then it's like, do you take Big Citrus this early, which I'm really not opposed to right here. I think that's ultimately where I'm going to land, but it goes to show you how difficult I think it is to pick for the Cowboys with pending extensions. Like, they got Bland done recently.
Yeah.
Do they let Pickens just play out the year? I'll say this after you took Bain. This could be a wide receiver. If things go really poorly, and hopefully they don't, it could be another tackle. But as it stands today, I'll take Big Citrus, Dominique Orange, and go with Jerry's mission to stop the run.
I mean, we could go with Big Citrus. I got no problem with that.
I'm going to go Big Citrus.
You could also take Keldrick Falk.
You could, but I know he's a mountain of a human. You're right.
And he's not taking away from why you drafted Ezraku.
No.
Like he's the base end dude who stops the run.
But Bane might come into the NFL at like 280 at that point. He's huge.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe more 275, but
all right.
Yeah.
Big citrus?
It's going to be big citrus. And Cowboys fans, it might seem, a little bit of a boring pick, but this is kind of pick they need for that interior defensive line.
Big citrus it is.
Unless Kenny Clark shows, hey, I really was hurt last year. I'm back to form this year, and you can rely on me for the next year or two. Then that would change things. We got to see it.
All right, yeah, I agree. Before we get to the Bucs pick it here at number 21, talking to everybody out there who might do some hiring for whatever company that they work for. Finding great candidates, it's tough. It's needle in a haystack stuff. You're trying to fix resumes with people that you think are really going to be able to come to life. Okay, this person's got the experience, but, are they going to fit in with our team? It's tough to do. But not with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps find amazing candidates for you fast. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. When you are hiring somebody, you're trying to get somebody who not just can do the job that you obviously have up there. They've got to be qualified in the right ways. They got to check all the boxes. But it's somebody who not just doing the job for right now, will grow with your company, right? Like that's what makes a great hire truly great. ZipRecruiter's smart technology identifies top talent for your roles very quickly. Immediately after you post the job, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology starts showing you qualified people for it. Ditch the other hiring sites. Let ZipRecruiter find what you are looking for, that needle in the haystack. 4 to 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that is ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. The Bucs at number 21 here. You love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, what have you been scheming?
Yeah, Arch Manning.
I had it in my back pocket the whole time, and now I'm going to hold him hostage and trade him for 4 first-round picks.
Man.
That was good. That was real good.
Obviously, Mekhi Lemon to just, continue to make the greatest wide receiver room in NFL history. No, I'm not taking wide receiver either. The Bucs are a really good team, and I think that their young guys I have a lot of faith in. So it's sort of hard to look at this room, and if Zion McCollum plays really well on the outside for them this year, I think that Jamel Dean becomes expendable. You have Jacob Parrish to play on the slot. Then you have Benjamin Morrison to play on the outside as well. You have Tyke Smith. You have Antoine Winfield Jr. You feel good about that secondary. Pass rushers. I mean, you have Hassan Reddick. You have Yaya Diaby. Keldrick Faulk could make sense for this team because I think that he's better than Logan Hall. So he can sort of play that 3-4 defensive end in Todd Bowles' scheme. So I'm definitely considering him here. And then the other thought process is just, do you draft Caden Proctor and just put him at guard? I know he struggled this past weekend, but man, he's just a massive human being.
Yep.
I think I'm going to go Keldrick Faulk. I think I'm going to upgrade from Logan Hall. Logan Hall's got to be on the last year of his deal.
Yeah, that went
fast. It feels good to be back. We're Googling players' contracts when we're going through the mock draft simulator in a draft that will happen in, let me check this, 9 months from now. Yeah, he is on the last year of his contract.
Very normal life we live.
Yeah, definitely.
I stare over the cap more than my family. Talk about Luke Wattenberg pending free agency.
Yeah, you did do that earlier.
Not kidding. Not kidding.
What'd you do today, honey?
Great day at work.
Keldrick Faulk, I'm going to take him at number 21. He's a Todd Bowles fit, and I think he is even if Logan Hall was still there, he's an upgrade over Logan Hall. So if he develops into a great pass rusher, phenomenal. But even as a baseline, so strong. He's got the length to him. He's an NFLer. So I'll take him at 21 here for the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that the league's just going to love when you're built like that and you have that kind of strength. All right, so the Chargers are on the clock here at 22. This is one where I know they have Mekhi Becton on kind of a flyer deal, and he's going to play right guard. So you could argue you just take the best O-line available and play him at guard. But I'm kind of looking at the defense as well. I'm thinking LT Overton here. I'm going to get a little younger on the edge. I want to see what my other options are. I like David Bailey a lot if they need a pure pass rusher.
Yeah.
If they want the big guy, it's Overton. If they want the pure pin your ears back, get off the ball and wreak havoc kind of guy, I go Bailey, and I know you're kind of in the mold of that with R. Mason Thomas.
You see Bailey picking up right where he left off. 92.6 pass rush grade against true pass sets, 28.6 pass rush win rate.
He's a terror.
Now
I'm gonna take Bailey.
I don't even remember who they were playing. Who were they playing?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Did you see the picture of the storm of that at that game? It looked like an alien takeover.
They're playing Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, national powerhouse.
What? Water polo in Arkansas? Yeah, dynasty. Okay, so you're taking.
I'm taking Bailey. Get some pass rush juice.
You are taking Bailey. Okay, all right. Washington now up at number 23. Wide receiver here for Washington. Yeah, I mean, I think they're good to play through their offensive line. They got in Connerly. They got Laramie Tunsil. They got Brandon Coleman at one of the guard spots. You have Andrew Wiley still. Andrew Wiley might be a free agent, but I could consider guard there. Like, I could say Caden Proctor. But if they have a chance to take Carnell Tate, I feel like they would. You know, Carnell Tate, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. That's pretty sick. Maybe they would need corner. Who's left at corner, actually?
Because Lattimore it's not been great.
Right. Ah, man, they're not afraid to take smaller corners either. Right. We know that. And Avion Terrell is a dog. Okay, I thought about Terrell. I think I'm going to go Tate. I think I'm going to go Carnell Tate.
Getting younger at wide receiver.
Important. Very important.
A year early rather than a year late is something that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. Tate's off the board. You're up with the Bengals 24.
All right. The Bengals here at 24. Another team that, we're kind of looking at and saying, yet again, can this team stop the run? I'm assuming, and I'm curious your thoughts here, do you think this is it for Trey Hendrickson there? He's going to play out this 1 year, Band-Aid deal they figured, and that's it? Kind of feels like it. I know they can tag him, but that's a $34 million tag.
Yeah. I don't know. I lean that this is the last year Hendrickson's there.
I do too.
But he does, from all accounts, he does love Cincinnati.
Yeah, but he has to hate that ownership group by now. That got so nasty this summer.
It did.
And they didn't even give him a multi-year extension. They just loaded cash into this year and to get him back on the field. It's not even like he got what he wanted, really.
No, he didn't get the long-term money that he wanted. All right, yeah, we can operate under. I think it's certainly realistic to say that it's his last year in Cincinnati. Whether I would say it's most likely or not, the point that you're bringing up does still stand.
I'm gonna go with LT Overton because of that.
Okay, all right,
and get them a heavy-handed edge.
Okay.
To play across from Shamar.
Lions at 25. Let's see. What are we working here with the Lions? Mahogany Rowledge coming in. Tesla, J-Mo, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got Sammy Lapie. Got a good running back duo, obviously. Still got Jared Goff. Tyleek Williams, DJ Reader in the middle. Roy Lopez, the GOAT, also there. People forget. We don't.
Roy Lopez, we never forget.
They could go pass rusher. Opposite Aiden Hutchinson, just getting a designated pass rusher in here. Still have the safeties. Sign DJ Reed. Have Terran Arnold. I think you feel good about the linebacker. I don't think I'm taking a linebacker here. Yeah, I think I'd look at a designated pass rusher. I think I'm doing R. Mason Thomas.
I was going to say, there you go. You got the reason to take R. Mason Thomas.
Yeah. Oh, man. Pass rush win rate was down this past week. But the pass rush grade was high. He must have been good in certain situations. I like R. Mason Thomas. I'm going to take him at 25 here. I'm going to give the Lions that designated pass rusher type of a player. Yep.
There he goes. R. Mason Thomas, the Lions. Let me get that one off the board on mine. So we are at 26 for the Niners.
Yes.
This is a team that will eventually have to get younger on the offensive line.
Yeah. They could be a Caden Proctor team, honestly.
I'm going to go with Mauigoa here.
Okay.
I just like him better. That's what it comes down to.
He's for tackle. Like if you want to tackle, then I could absolutely agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to take Mauigoa to the Niners and once again get younger and bigger on this offensive line.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, maybe they need a guard depending on how Kingsley looks, but I don't.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to watch this year.
They have Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. I like Rashard Smith, but what is Pacheco up after this year?
He should be because he was
right.
He should be.
He is indeed. This is the last year on his contract.
You think they'd be an early running back team?
They were with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, weren't they?
And how did that work out?
Not well. I think is he back with them?
Like on the practice squad?
Yeah, I thought I see. Yes, he is. He is back with them on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for Clyde.
They could
two-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, people forget. Again, we don't. Yeah, we don't.
I would never. That's how I introduce him to people.
I think I'm actually going to go Avion Terrell.
Yeah, yeah. Can you have another small corner on that team?
If he's good.
I know, it worked out for them before.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the corners that they have, right? They have they've tried to bring in like Jalen Watson, Josh Williams. They drafted Noel Williams this year, Christian Fulton, and obviously like some of those guys are new. Some of those guys have plenty of time to make it play out. But like they've tried the longer corner thing. The best one is still Trent McDuffie. Like the best one is still the short corner,
by far
just the best.
I know,
which I do think is very funny.
It's funny how it's one of those positions that you just like you chase something, and then at the end of the day, the guy that everybody thought was just good just ends up
look
working.
at that.
Yeah, wow, right. There it goes. And listen, I'm a sucker for arm length and the size speed combo at corner, especially on the outside, as much as anyone. But it is funny how that works out at times.
Yeah, sucker is right. I'm going to go with Avion Terrell here.
Okay. You're still mad about the Connor Lew pick, clearly.
I've never been more mad. Right into the papers. Right in the papers that I'm mad.
Who is screaming in my house, log off? I'll never log off. Oh, man.
You're up with the Eagles at 28.
28.
Eagles fans better not see this because they're going to think
I was going to say, I mean, I know who made the draft order, and it wasn't me.
Oh, so this draft order is kind of wonky anyways. I'm just realizing this. Like, the Browns trade with Jacksonville is 31. As if we think that Jacksonville is going to the Super Bowl to play against the Falcons, who are picking at 32.
Did we just screw up the whole draft?
No, I mean, I just didn't catch that. Like those are the two trades, but they happen to just be at the end of the draft, so they should be a little bit higher. But kind of, I guess it is what it is.
I mean, it's not really
the set order isn't necessarily what matters most. We're just kind of like talking about.
No, it's not destructive because this range of players, there's not the big enough difference.
Yeah,
where it's not like, the Eagles should actually pick in fourth. So
right.
It doesn't really matter in that regard. All right, so back to the Eagles here, who are always one of those teams that the conversation is, well, this team is insanely good everywhere all the time because they always draft value second stringers that develop into starters over and over again. It's a masterclass of what they do. So I can kind of go any direction I want here, honestly. Something I found myself doing a couple times last year, and Eagles fans didn't really like it, was taking a third wide receiver. But
now they
because they traded for John Mechie.
Yeah, I mean now they have Mechie.
Me. Jahan Dotson is still
all right.
You know what? Here I am back on over the cap again.
Hello, old friend.
It's me knocking on the door again over the cap. I mean, do you try to draft the guy that'll take the baton from Lane a little earlier than normal?
Who would that be?
For me, Isaiah World.
Oh.
For me, it would be for them, probably Caden Proctor.
Probably Caden Proctor.
They like big people. They do. So I think Isaiah World is just a better player. So I'm going to go with him. But Eagles fans, obviously, if you're not familiar with anyone yet, check out both of them because Proctor would be, as he's got his hiccups as a prospect right now. Notably, his footwork is what kind of bothers me, and balance. Yeah. But they like big people from SEC schools. So, but I'm going with Isaiah World. I'm a huge fan of World's talent.
The Baltimore Ravens at 29. This is my Super Bowl pick this year, by the way.
I'm with you.
I have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl this season.
I'm with you. I have them beating the Lions that nobody likes anymore. So we'll see how that goes.
I have no idea how that division is going to go. I really don't. Yeah. In my last prediction that I had for PFF, I had them missing the playoffs simply from a tiebreaker, just because it's I don't. That division absolutely could cannibalize itself, and I'm really surprised that it didn't last year. It was not as competitive, but I think the Bears are going to be way better. The Packers just hit their foot to the floor with getting Micah Parsons. So I don't know what's going to happen. And I had Ravens over Vikings in the Super Bowl, but I think one of those teams in the NFC North is probably going to make the Super Bowl to play against the Ravens. Anyways, Ravens now. I mean, they could go Caden Proctor if they wanted. If they don't like Daniel Falele, but you're kind of just running it back.
Yeah, right.
So I don't think that they would do that. I think I'm going to pick Mekhi Lemon. I understand that Zay Flowers plays a lot in the slot, but I'm just not sure you can have enough players who know how to create the kind of separation that Mekhi Lemon knows how to.
Right.
I think that you can kind of figure out where you're placing him a little bit later. And you could maybe play Rashad Bateman a little bit more on the line of scrimmage. Maybe get more creative with how you're putting the tight ends on the line of scrimmage. And you could put Zay Flowers and Mekhi Lemon off the line of scrimmage as the Z in the slot. So I am just going to pick the best wide receiver here. And I'm going to take Lemon for the Ravens.
It's not crazy at all. Think of what Lamar creates not only in structure but out of structure, and how can guys run with Zay and Lemon?
Yeah, there's just not a lot of teams that have those sort of corners that can compete with those guys for more than 3 seconds.
No, and you have Bateman extended. They are a team that can play in 12 personnel with 2 big tight ends. So they're one of the teams that can kind of go this route that not all other teams can afford to. So I like it. You're just going with talent, and going with talent is why the Ravens and the Eagles and teams like that often, draft very, very well. So, all right.
Bills?
So Mekhi Lemon goes at 29. At 30, we have the Bills on the clock. This is a team that really needs to upgrade its safety. Really needs to.
Yeah.
I got to ask you something, because I don't see him in the simulator unless I'm blind.
Kamari's listed as a corner for some reason. I don't know why. We will be changing that. He's a safety. Unless he played a lot of nickel. Yeah, okay. He played this past game. He played in the slot for most of his snaps. He played slot corner.
I still think I will classify him more of that at-large safety.
If you are saying, is he a corner or is he a safety? Again, on this show, guys, we're a little bit more detailed in how we do things.
Right. Try to be.
The website isn't as detailed in this, but I have 5 different characteristics of defensive backs: outside man coverage corner, outside zone coverage corner, nickel defender, coverage safety, box safety. So if we're talking about Kamari fitting into a singular detailed position, maybe it's nickel defender. But if he's either a corner or a safety, I would tell you he is a safety. So
right. Yeah, I'm going to take Kamari Ramsey. I like his playmaking ability. I think the Bills will be in the market to get a younger and more turnover focused at that position. So
Cleveland took Garrett Nussmeier at the very top of the draft. Here they have another pick. I think I would go Caden Proctor here, just because Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio are getting long in the tooth. They have Zach Zinter and they have Tevin Jenkins, but I think that Proctor could start it. They also have DeJuan Jones, who I'm worried about as a left tackle for them. And Jack Conklin is...
Yeah.
Man, how old is Jack Conklin? 31. Goodness gracious. This Browns offensive line is going to be unrecognizable in 2 years.
It's crazy. It could be really rough this year, and it could be very different next year.
I'm actually going to take Austin Barber because I feel better about him, the offensive tackle from Florida. I feel better about him playing tackle at the NFL level than I do Caden Proctor playing at offensive tackle. I like Blake Miller as well. I like Caleb Lomu. I wonder if the league is going to be higher on Austin Barber just as a whole than Caleb Lomu, but to me, it's one of those two guys. It's Barber or Lomu. I guess I have Lomu ranked higher than Barber slightly.
I do too.
So I'll go Lomu here. I'll switch that actually, and I'll go Caleb Lomu because I've got him ranked above Austin Barber. You're up with the Rams.
Final pick is the Rams, who have really
took Xavier Scott.
I said took Xavier Scott at corner. See, they have some playmaking now in that secondary. I like this defensive line a lot. I mean,
oh yeah,
Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, Poona Ford, Kobe Turner. This freaking defensive line is so good. I wonder if they start to think about the future of tackle. I want to look at the contracts on both Havenstein and Alaric Jackson.
Well, Alaric Jackson, I think, just signed a contract extension with them, but he's also dealing with blood clots.
Right, he's hurt. Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah, he's out.
So,
Havenstein's up after this year.
Okay, there we go.
So, I future of tackle for both those reasons, health and need, comes top of mind. I'm going to look at the options besides. So, we still haven't had Proctor taken, right?
No, we have not.
You took Lomu?
I did. So, like Barber, Caleb Tiernan.
I'm going to go with Xavier Chaplin.
Okay, you're going to take Chaplin?
Yeah, just the size and strength that he has. And like I said, I want to see him clean up some of the penalties this year and the low light kind of plays. But Chaplin, with his raw power and size, this is kind of the range you develop that player.
All right, we're going to recap the draft in a second, talk about what we're doing later this week. But before we get to that, talking to all the parents out there, asking them a very important question. And what's your child's future success look like for you? Here's a simple decision that you can make today to have a meaningful impact on your kid's future and their success. It's opening a UGMA kids investment account with Fabric to start their investment journey early and gives them a financial head start. Fabric by Gerber Life was designed by parents for parents to make it easy to plan for and manage your family's financial path. With the kids investment account, you can invest in Fabric and start investing in your child's future today. Kids can't invest while they're minors, but this UGMA account allows you to invest on their behalf and gives their investments so much more time to grow. The whole thing is online. Setting up an account could take you as little as just 5 minutes. Get started investing with as little as $1 a day and then manage your child's account and monitor their investments right from your phone. Funds can be used for nearly anything. When they're younger, maybe it's after-school activities, summer camp, books, tuition, things like that. And maybe when they're a little bit older, you're helping them buy that first house, buy that first car, start their own business, whatever that looks like. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. Start investing in your child's future today at meetfabric.com/stock-exchange. That's meetfabric.com/stock-exchange. MEET, fabric.com/stock-exchange. Portfolios are managed by Fort Washington Investment Advisors Incorporated. Additional services provided by Apex Coin Corporation. All investing is subject to risk. You can learn more at meetfabric.com. Recapping the way too early, very first NFLSE 2026 mock draft. Cleveland Browns number 1 overall to Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback. Number 2, Connor gave the Saints Lenora Sellers. The Titans took the best player in the draft, and Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State. Number 4, Connor got some wide receiver help for the Jets in Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson. The Giants got Spencer Fano, the tackle from Utah. Carolina Panthers pairing Peter Woods, defensive tackle from Clemson, with Derek Brown. Number 7, Jermon McCoy, the new CB1 for the Las Vegas Raiders. There at number 8, Drew Aller, the quarterback from Penn State, going to the Indianapolis Colts. Ruben Bain Jr., the edge rusher, defensive tackle, whatever you want to call him. He's just damn good. Yeah, for the Dallas Cowboys at number 9. Seattle Seahawks taking Caleb Banks to continue to beef up their defensive line, the defensive tackle from Florida. Number 11, TJ Parker, the edge rusher from Clemson, going to the Patriots. 12, Connor stamp of approval on Xavier Scott, the nickel defender. He play outside corner too, or is he more just that nickel defender?
Everywhere.
He plays everywhere.
Free safety, in the box, outside, inside. It's a wild ride.
Yeah. Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, he does everything. There's nothing that this man can't do. He goes number 12 to the Los Angeles Rams. Number 13, Sam Levitt, the quarterback from Arizona State, going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. 14, Miami Dolphins took Penn State cornerback A.J. Harris. 15, Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame, going to the Chicago Bears. Denzel Boston, the wide receiver from Washington, going to the Arizona Cardinals at number 16. 17, Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, going to the Minnesota Vikings. Connor Liu, the center from Auburn, going to the Denver Broncos at 18. Jennings Dunker, the offensive guard, I think, from Iowa, going to the Houston Texans, one of the best ass kickers in this draft. Speaking of that, Dominic Orange, big citrus himself, defensive tackle, going to the Dallas Cowboys with the Green Bay's pick, now that they have that there. Shout out to Cowboys fans. We know you guys will be tuning in for every single mock draft episode that we have this year, and we love that for you. Keldrick Falk, the defensive end from Auburn, going to the Buccaneers at 21. David Bailey, the pass rusher from Texas Tech, to the Chargers at 22. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State, going to the Commanders at 23. LT Overton, the edge rusher from Alabama, going to the Bengals at 24. R. Mason Thomas, the edge rusher from Oklahoma, going to the Lions at 25. Francis Mauigoa, I think actually is how you say it, the tackle from Miami, going to the Niners at 26. Avion Terrell, the corner from Clemson, going to the Chiefs at 27. Isaiah World, the offensive tackle, now at Oregon, going to the Eagles at 28. Makai Lemon, the wide receiver from USC, going to the Baltimore Ravens at 29. Kamari Ramsey, the defensive back, mainly safety for USC, going to the Bills at number 30. And then we had Caleb Lomu, the tackle from Utah, going to the Browns at 31. And then Xavier Chaplin, the offensive tackle from Auburn, going to the Rams at number 32. Obviously, those picks should not be there. It should be a little bit earlier in the draft. But the point stands. We would love to hear from you guys. We appreciate you watching this first mock draft that we had here for this season. It was good to dust the keyboards off, the MDS off here for 2026. Best way to get in on the show and the conversation, youtube.com/@NFL Stock Exchange. You can hit up the show at NFLSC Show on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. Anywhere that we have a show channel, it's at NFLSE Show. You could hit up Connor and I at Connor J. Rogers, at Tampa Bay Trey on Instagram, Twitter, all of that good stuff as well. The season is in full swing, which means we are back to Monday and Wednesday episodes, releasing at, I believe, 10 p.m. every single evening is what we're going to try to go with to make sure that we get those up for you at a consistent time. And on Wednesday, as we mentioned earlier in the show, it is the very first Stock Watch episode, week 1 of college football in the books. And that means we got some takes on some players that we ranked on our big board the previous week. So we're going to tell you who really caught our eye in good and bad ways. We're going to, of course, talk about the quarterback position plenty, as the draft conversation is also always carried by that position. And we're going to bring you some new names every single week that we didn't talk about during summer scouting that are really standing out, that are going to be guys who could climb the big board as the season goes on. Connor, anything else before we get out of here?
No, man, a lot of fun. Good to get one in the books, and obviously we do a lot of these throughout the year. It's fun to watch them change, but I'd love to hear everybody in the comments thoughts on what you think your team needs, some prospects that you like earlier, and a little more than everybody else, because that's what makes this thing great.
Hats are coming. I didn't have time to set up the store, but they will be coming later this week. I will get them set up over the next couple of days, and we will get those hats going so we can get those to you guys. Appreciate everybody's patience. And if you follow the show on Twitter and Instagram, we'll probably announce there that the hats are back up and in stock. So make sure that you are following the show channels there. And of course, I'll make an announcement here on the next episode once those hats are up as well. For Connor Rogers, I'm Trevor Sikkema, saying thank you guys so much for watching the NFL Stock Exchange Show. See you guys next time.